So we are going to start. After 14 days gap, we are here to listen about the Environment and Development Series 2 webinar. This is our 8th webinar under NDEP series. Today's resource person is Professor Vidyanath Jha. And today, Dr. S. Revati Lakshmi, Assistant Professor of Botany, ANJA College, Tamil Nadu, will tell about our today's guest and speaker, and she will introduce our resource person. Then invited talk, I previously said about that, Dr. Jha will talk about medieval Vijayanoides, and then to 8:20 given for discussion session. Then next programs announcement will be done by Dr. Dash, and next of thanks will be given by Professor Ghayal, Avasa College, Pune, Maharashtra, India. So I am requesting Madam Revati Lakshmi to talk about today's resource person and introduce our resource person. Madam. Madam.
Am I audible now?
Yes, madam.
Good evening, one and all present in this virtual meet. I am much delighted to introduce today's speaker, retired Professor Dr. Vidyanand Jha. I thank Dr. Das sir, Dr. Ghosh, Amnesh Jana for giving me an opportunity to introduce as a nice personality. Today's speaker, Professor Dr. Vidyanand Jha, did his graduation from LM Mithila University, Karnataka, and post-graduation from the same university. Sir, please meet. Thank you, sir.
एकरा ओपन वाला फाइल निकाल दियो दिसला से
So Professor is younger from Meerut University and his doctoral program from Ranchi University, Ranchi. And Professor got National
Madam,
Merit
please
Scholarship.
speak loudly, madam.
Okay, ma'am. But some other noise disturbance is also there.
Yes. Vidyanath Jha sir, please off your mic.
Sir, please.
Jha sir, please. Yes. Then madam, please loudly speak.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening, one and all present in this virtual meet. I am much delighted to introduce today's speaker, retired Professor Dr. Vidyanand Jha. I thank Dr. Das sir, Madam Kambi Ghosh, and Sri Amnesh Jana, Secretary, Dishtan Organization, West Bengal, for giving me a nice opportunity to introduce an eminent personality to all. Today, our speaker, Dr. Vidyanand Jha, did his graduation from LN Mithila University, Davaga, and post-graduation from the same university. And he did his MPhil from Meerut University and doctoral program from Ranchi University, Ranchi. Professor got National Merit Scholarship after his matriculation, and he got CSIR Research Fellowship for pursuing PhD at Ranchi University. And Professor started his career as lecturer at the Department of Botany, CM Science College, Darbhanga from 1983. Then he was promoted as a reader from 1991, and then he served as a university professor from 1999 at the same college. Later, he served as a principal from 2009 to the same college. Today's speaker, Professor Dr. Vidyanand Jha, published 3 books, and he got so many research projects from UGC, INSA, and DSD. Professor also served as the visiting professor under INSA, UGC, and CSIR to various institutions all over India. And Professor published so many publications. There is more than 150 research articles from various reputed journals. Professor was well known for his work done on Makhana in relation to economic development of Bihar. Recently, Professor was awarded with Professor P. Sen Sharma Medal of Society of Ethnobotanist by NBRI Lucknow, and World Environment and Leadership Award during 6th International Conference on Ecology and Environment held at the University of Allahabad. Professor is an active editor for the journals like Biojournal, Bioglobia, and Annals of Plant Sciences. Professor received so many fellowships from International Botanical Society, Society of Ethnobotanists, International Society of Tropical Ecology, and Association of Advancement of Biodiversity Science. And Professor delivers so many invited lectures at different universities and colleges across India. Today, Professor Vidyanand Sai is in our office to deliver lecture on vetiver, a multi-phased glass providing a message of land conservation and rural development. We are really happy to have such an eminent personality as well as scientist before us. Welcome you, sir. And with this brief introduction, now I request Professor Dr. Vidyanand sir to hand over the session. Sorry, to take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Can you start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At the outset, I feel indebted to Dr. Devbrat Das, Dr. Pampi Ghosh, Dr. Amlesh Chandra Jana for asking me to present this paper, make this presentation on vetiver, a multifaceted grass providing a message of land conservation and rural development. I thank Dr. Revati for presenting an introduction to me. The topic of my presentation is vetiver, a multifaceted grass. Since I belong to the Mithila region of Bihar, I would cite examples from this place. Vetiver is known as Katara Jha in Mithila area of North Bihar, probably on account of the fibrous roots that entangle very deep into the earth's surface, and it is on account of this that it is planted as a demarcation of land boundary. The grass is formally worshipped along with cow dung and soil cast. The practice is observed as a sequel to land conservation, coupled with paying obeisance to the sun god, who is considered as the custodian of health and wellness. Next one. This vetiver grass, it was earlier known as Vetiveria zizanividis, but the name has now been changed to Crassopogons zizanividis. It is a multifaceted grass, as we have been telling about it. Hedgerows for soil and moisture conservation, and then it's a good source of biofuel, and there is a need to develop it into briquettes for cooking and also for ethanol production. These days the government has come out with its ethanol policy, and this provides a good example. Then thatched houses, in making thatched houses it is used for roofing. Then a number of handicrafts are done from it that are used in domestic in houses, as well as these handicrafts are marketed also. And livestock feed, it is used as livestock feed for mulching and also for soil reconditioning. Then its essential oil and craft production is for marketing purpose, soil stabilization, erosion control, and groundwater recharge. These are the purposes that it serves. Then removes nitrates, phosphates, heavy metals, and other contaminants, tolerant to soils with high and low pH, salinity, and heavy metals. Then it is drought and fire resistant. And these days, the plants or trees that are rich in their properties for carbon sequestering. So this plant also meets the purpose. Next one. Now, so far as we have to throw light on the rural development aspect of this grass, so I would like to highlight how in our own area there is one Sikki, Rachna Sikki Hastkala Kendra, and the innovator is Shri Virendra Kumar, who has innovated it, and this is in high demand. Recently, during the centenary celebration of Bihar Vidhan Sabha, President Ramnath Kovind came to Patna and he was presented Sita Swayambar, that handicraft wall hanging that was made by this Hastkala Kendra. The grass is planted for demarcation of land boundaries, as I have already told, as it withstands extreme floods, which fail to uproot it on account of deep infiltration of its fibrous roots. Vetiver stocks form the basis of Sikki cottage industry in this region. And so this area is known for its Sikki handicraft. Next one. It has a number of species, but the two species, lowland and upland vetivers, are able to grow in various types of soils from sea level to 800 meters above sea level. Both species need bright sun with high temperatures but cannot stand low temperatures. It is a tropical grass which can well adapt to different environmental conditions. Different countries, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, etc. This Chrysopogon gigantoides can be found growing in a wide range of areas from the highlands to the coastal areas. It appears with dense clumps and is fast growing through tillering. When planted on contour line or slopes, the clump which stands above the ground will produce tillers, forming a green hedge. This makes it capable of trapping crop residue and seeds eroded by the runoff, leading to natural earth terrace formation with a deep, dense root system spreading vertically rather than horizontally. Vetiver can be tolerantly under adverse conditions. Next one. Vetiver also is known also as khas, not as khaskhas. That is a product of that afim. So it is known as khas. It's a perennial grass belonging to the botanical family Poaceae. Vetiver is a Tamil word, and the plant is believed to have originated in India. Its earlier botanical name, as I have already told, was Vetiveria gigantoides. Vetiver has several Sanskrit synonyms, including Nalada, not Nalanda, it is Nalada, that which emits fragrance. It is also called as Ushir. And in our own area, the great Maithili poet Vidyapati made a reference to this plant in his famous treatise Shab Sarvasva Sar. And this is the case of Mithila area. Next one. But in South India, also there are varied uses and the art forms that are derived from this plant on account of the fragrant roots. These are forms, malas, garlands, etc. are offered through the Shiva temples. The grass has been successfully used in bioengineering of a steep slope, stabilization, and as phytoremediator of contaminated land and water. The grass propagates through its small offsets. Different parts of the grass are used for carving art forms of varying hues in different parts of the world, while fragrant garlands from its aromatic roots are carved to be offered in Shiv temples in South India. Its peduncles, that is inflorescence stalks, are used for carving the Sikki art items in Mithila area of North Bihar. Outside India, its leaves are used for carving the art items. Vetiver art finds its manifestations in different parts of eastern India, including the state of Odisha. A paper from Odisha has been published in Indian Journal of Traditional Knowledge by CSIR. Here we find how Virendra Kumar is making the art items, wall hangings. That is an innovation, and how he is making the items. Earlier also, there were old Sikki gadgets, all of Sikki, Mauni, Pauti, Virara, etc. All of them were used as containers. But this one, that is a new, rather innovation, is used as wall hanging, and exquisite wall hangings are being made by this Kendra. Next one. Yes. Just see, this is from South India, how different chappals and all these are being made from the fragrant roots. Hats also. Next one. Yes, Sista mat and pillow. Just see in different parts of India, these things are being made, fragrant ones of different hues. Next one. Yes, anyone wants a flower vase. These are also being prepared from its roots of different gods and goddesses, deities of all religions, etc. Different items are being made out of it. Next one. Yes. These days, there is a trend to draw inspirations from the events held abroad in the field of environmental conservation, but a fine tradition of land conservation that is still practiced in our area, that is Mithila area of North Bihar, would be visualized in the form of Katara Puja, that is Vetiver worship. This ritual is performed during the initiation and conclusion of the 6-month-long Rabi Prat. Now, I want to highlight this one. As I have already said, big trees like Bargar, Peepal, Bakar, all members of the family Moraceae under the genus Ficus, all these are worshipped in different places, in different religions. But here we have an example of a grass being worshipped. Now, we are already in the habit of drawing inspirations from examples in the Western countries, but here this practice is still vibrant, still it is still performed in the villages where animals are reared, milk-giving animals are reared. So along with cow dung and soil cast, this practice is observed mostly by women who first move in a procession to a water body, mostly rivers, and they worship the river deity also, and they tie knots on the leaves of the vetiver grass for fulfillment of their desires, and these knots are to be unknotted after 6 months, when this ritual of taking saltless foods ends after 6 months. Next one. Yes, see, I am audible. Yes, just see another group of women how they are performing this ritual of vetiver worship. They are tying knots. Just see how it is performed. Next one. Just see. Now, the other examples is how I would like to highlight here the role of the king of Thailand, who is now no more. He contributed greatly to the utilization of vetiver grass in his country. The person behind the success of vetiver technology in Thailand was His Majesty King Bhumibol Atulya Tej, King Rama IX, the first person in the country to recognize the value of vetiver and to start experimenting with it since early days, after having carefully studied the approach of the World Bank in using vetiver grass. His Majesty, the late King, gave the first royal initiative on 22nd June 1991 to encourage the utilization of vetiver in Thailand for soil and water conservation. But in the 8 years, vetiver has proven to be an effective and low-cost technique which readily be practiced by farmers for slowing water runoff, reducing erosion and increasing the soil moisture for crop and plant. And it is on account of the contribution of King Bhumibol Atulya Tej that his birthday, 5th December, is observed as International Soil Day. It is on account of his contribution. So we must remember him. When we remember vetiver, we must remember the late king also. Next one. Now vetiver, how the live plants and the dry plants, how are they utilized? The live plants have agricultural application, non-agricultural applications, agricultural applications in the form of soil and water conservation, in agriculture system. The bioengineering aspect is related with erosion control and stabilization, disaster prevention, then protection of aerial and aquatic environment, and the dry plants have their use of all forms: leaves, cones, roots, in handicraft, animal feed, essential oil, herbals are extracted out of it, then roof thatch, then industrial products. So these are the various uses. And in phytoremediation, the aspect of it is applicable in the case of reclamation, rehabilitation of mine tailings, garbage landfill, others, effluent industrial waste, etc. For controlling or arresting desertification, also it has a very prominent role. Next one. Just see how slope stabilization. This is an example taken from net from Solomon Islands in 2016. This was the scene, how see it is quite visible, self-explanatory, and the figure below also shows a sewage effluent treatment in Papua New Guinea, how it is being done. In our country also, this can be simulated. So next one. Yes. It has a unique, it serves as a unique living dam. The act of both the roots and clumps as a living dam is also amazing. Their direct benefits are adhering to the soil particles, thus reducing soil erosion, then increasing the amount of organic matter collected in front of the hedgerow, then increasing moisture content in front of the hedgerow as a result of accumulation of organic matter and water, then filtering out the toxic substances brought in by water, and after being absorbed in the plant tissue. These will slowly disintegrate while clear and clean water is able to pass through this living dam. So this is an example, an illustration of sediment buildup and water infiltration. Then it has got tolerance to a wide range of environmental stresses like acidity, like heavy metals, as I have already told. Then it has an ability to absorb toxic substances. Not only vetiver can tolerate adverse soil conditions, but it can absorb toxic substances like pollutants, pesticides, and heavy metals into its biomass, mostly in its extensive roots, thereby diluting such toxic substances in the soils and water, making them safer in agricultural and non-agricultural activity. One such activity is the use of vetiver to purify eutrophicated water in the lake, leachate from garbage, landfill, etc. It can also be used to absorb heavy metals from quarry, and such valuable metals can be recycled by extraction from the vetiver biomass. This is very important. Then vetiver grass, as I have already told, its name has now changed to Crassophogon genuidis. The name vetiver is originally derived from Tamil, South India. I have already told it, and originally classified as vetiveria. Since vetiveria and Crassophogon are not separable based on random amplified polymorphic DNAs, this led to the merging of the genera Vetiveria and Crassophogon. Since Vetiveria genuidis, L. Nash is now known as Crassophogon genuidis with chromosome base number X is equal to 5 and 10 and 2n is equal to 20 and 40. So this is the genesis of how it has connections with species like sorghum, etc. 11 species of vetiver are recorded, with distribution in tropical Asia, including Pacific Islands and Australia and Africa, and 2 species, Crassophogon genuidis, Crassophogon genuidis, and Crassophogon nemoralis, that is upland vetiver, restricted distribution in mainland Southeast Asia, are used in the vetiver system, that is use and utilization. The former has also been used in essential oil production and as traditional medicine, while Crassophogon genuidis is sterile, it flowers but set no seeds. Crassophogon nemoralis is fertile, it sets viable seeds. Next one. Yes. Now I am coming to how vetiver is being used under its natural conditions. Now here there is a river Bagmati, passing from Darbhanga town, and this figure is from a village Pindaruch, where our NSS team had gone for plantation, and it was during the rainy season. Rains were just rains had passed, and it was just after that. And see how the mainstream has on both of its sides vetiver. This has not been planted. This is natural one, and gives a picturesque scene on both the sides of the river. So vetiver, and this shows how vetiver has the potential to boost regional agriculture. Next one. Now, a case study of vetiver-based integrated farming as practiced by Sri Lal Bahadur Singh, a progressive farmer in his village Yogia, that is Ladania city block in Madhwani district, situated alongside the Jayanagar-Ladania road near Indo-Nepal border. And this study we made during 2014-15. Next one. The components of vetiver-based integrated farming have been studied under the following subheads. Number one, cereal and legume-based integration under two different application systems. The second is timber tree-based integration. The third one is medicinal plant-based integration. And the fourth one is medicinal plant cum underground vegetable-based integration. I would like to explain it one by one. Next one. Just see how this cereal and legume-based integration is working. Now the two components are, first is vetiver and the second one is paddy. Now this vetiver to vetiver, we have 15 centimeter each for plantation of the paddy row. Then again 30 centimeter distance is there for the another paddy row. And then again after 15 centimeter we have vetiver row. And here on this side 60 centimeter is there between the two vetiver rows. In between we have two rows of paddy. So in the middle portion also we have two rows of paddy. So this is an innovation that Sri Lal Bahadur Singh made in his land. Next one. Now see, this table provides the details of integration of vetiver with cereal and legumes. That is application number one. Here the main crop is vetiver, that is planted during June, July, and it is an 18-month crop and is harvested during November next year. And the distance with the same plants, as I have already said, it is 60 centimeter. Distance with other plants 15 centimeter, and 10 liter vetiver oil per acre is produced, and oil is sold at rupees 12,000 per.
Sir, I am. This one is right slide.
Yes.
Sir, slide is right. I am showing.
Slide.
Which this slide is right.
Right. Correct.
Okay, sir.
Correct. Now this price was there in 2015, in the year 2015. Yes. Then there are two subsidiary crops. One is paddy, that was sown under SRI system of rice intensification system, and then masoor or bakla and moong. I have provided the sowing time of the main crop as well as the subsidiary crop that he practiced. It was his practice, and how the subsidiary crop paddy SRI method, that was planted during October, November, and was harvested during the same year. Distance with the same plants 25 centimeter, distance with other plants 15 centimeter, 80 kg per kattha or 16 to 18 quintals per acre. And that was the other two crops, masoor or moong, were also there. So here see how there is integration of vetiver with cereals and legumes. Next one. Just see. The another system, cereal legume based integration. Here the vetiver is being planted along with paddy. Same system, as I have said, in table it will be given. More details are available in the table. Next one. Next table of the application number 2. Just see here. Here again, the main crop is vetiver. Sowing time same, June, July, and then harvested after 18 months. and then 45 centimeter distance with the same plants, 15 centimeter with the other plants. And here 12 to 15 liters of vetiver oil are produced per acre. Then again paddy randomly interspersed, the production is 80 kg per kattha or 16 to 18 quintals per acre. Then masoor and then dhaicha. Here this integration with feed with dhaicha, that is Tasmania species. And these days in Bihar, this government is laying much stress on the cultivation of dhaicha for organic as a sequel to organic cultivation, and the seeds are sold, made available to the farmers. So Bihar is laying much stress on the organic cultivation. So here also this progressive farmer has made an integration of vetiver with paddy, masoor and dhaicha. So this was the second one, application number 2. Next one. Yes, again there is integration with timber tree. This progressive farmer in his lowland, because the wood for general use has become lesser, availability of wood has generally declined. So he chose for the plantation of this eucalyptus, that is Safeda tree, in the vetiver, along with vetiver. So and Populus deltoides and eucalyptus, both these timber trees were integrated with vetiver. The next one, at 60 centimeter distance, it is being shown, and the next table will tell you the further details. Next one. Here of the see details of integration of vetiver with timber tree. Again, here it is main crop is vetiver, KS1 variety, plantation time same, that is June, July, and it is an 18 months crop, but here harvested 4 times. Distance same, 6 to 8 liters of vetiver oil is produced per acre. And the subsidiary crop is poplar and safeda, planted during June, July, 400 to 500 plants in an acre, and after 5 to 8 years, it is harvested. Distance with the same plants, 300 centimeters, and distance with other plants, that is interspersed with vetiver plantation. Now eucalyptus is sold at the rate of rupees 2,500 to 3,000 per log. Populus is sold at the rate of rupees 2,000 to 2,500 rupees per log. So this is the situation with timber tree. The next one. Again, integration with aquatic medicinal plants. Now the aquatic medicinal plants that would be cultivated along with this vetiver is sweet flag, that is called as butch, and it is used for acoustic disorders and even touch, just speaking disorders. So much sought after plant, sweet flag, that is butch, and Acorus calamus. And again, distance wise, next table will tell you. Table tells the details of integration of vetiver with medicinal plant. Again, main crop vetiver, KS1 variety, planting time same, June, July, 18-month crop. Distance with same plant 60 centimeter, distance with other plants 15 centimeters. 10 liters of vetiver oil produced per acre. And the subsidiary crop, as I have already told, is Acorus calamus, planted during June, July, and again this also 18-month crop. So harvested along with this main crop, that is vetiver. 400 kg of rhizome produced per acre and sold at the rate of rupees 60 per kg. Now this price range was 5 years back. So that's the case. Next one. Again, integration with potato, that is underground vegetables. Again, main crop vetiver, and this potato is being cultivated at distance, and there are elevated patches, there are troughs, elevated patch, trough. So that is the distribution. Potato is planted on elevated patch, and the vetiver is planted on the trough. Same is repeated. Next one. Now details of integration of vetiver with potato and wheat. Again main crop vetiver, same time of plantation, and 12 to 15 liters of vetiver oil produced per acre. And subsidiary crops here are potato and mint. Planting times October and February respectively, and 3 to 4 months they take for harvesting, for growing up to maturity and then being harvested. And then distance with the same plants 25 to 30 in the centimeter, and potato is harvested at the rate of 1200 kg per acre, and then this mint 30 liters mentha oil is produced per acre. Now this progressive farmer has this lesson set in his this area, and is taking out the distilled oils and marketing it at the government raised area revenues. Next one. So here these days we must pay our attention to hitherto plants, such plants which grow on their own and do not attract too much of attention. So here this our area is flood affected area, and embankments have been raised on almost all rivers in the post embankment dispensation, that is after 1947 in the independent India. Now there was the problem of floods in the rivers like Kosi, that is called as the river of sorrow. So embankments were raised, and temporary relief initial for some initial years was there against floods, but now the situation has worsened particularly on account of the fact that small rivers that earlier used to make confluence with the big rivers, now that has been blocked, and now there is water logging after alongside on the outer side of the embankments. Now this is creating a big question mark over the efficacy of the embankments. Now what to do? The planners, government, all of them, they are thinking how to find the solution. Now another problem is that there is too much of amassment of sand brought out by these rivers. This is the same situation in Kosi, in Kamla, in Bagmati, all other rivers which were embanked are facing the same predicament. Now there is prolonged water logging for 3 to 4 to 6 months. Water doesn't find entry into the big rivers on account of the embankment, and there is water logging. So what is the way out? Now vetiver here is a solution to the problem. There is a need for massive plantation of vetiver in the flood affected areas, more particularly in the sand mass deposited by this Kosi river in between the embankments, and for that on that count for other rivers also. Now these large sand mass, big sand mass, which do not have any implication as such, embankments have choked their outlet. So there is a need for massive plantation in those areas, in flood affected areas. Now this vetiver plant is known for its sustenance in flooded water, as well as also on the sandy soils, because it adds too much of biomass, phytomass in the soil. So the soil which is not productive in the beginning, ultimately after some years it becomes productive on account of addition of organic mass, phytomass. Its productivity increases. So such a large area which is lying unproductive for the time being has solution in plantation of vetiver that could be a means of agricultural diversification also, because our traditional crops are not providing so much of dividend. So agricultural diversification that is now being much stressed upon is an answer, and vetiver would be one of its components, more particularly in the flood affected areas, and more particularly in the areas where sand is deposited. more particularly the eastern districts, Saharsa, Madhepura, Supal, and in the other areas of Kosi, the erstwhile Purnia division, and Purnia, Katihar, Araria, then Kishanganj, etc. These areas, in these areas, there is very high potential of the plantation of vetiver. This is one aspect. Then there is other aspect that it can be planted in the drought-prone areas also, in the areas where soil this too much of deposit of sand is there. So I would like to conclude now that this grass has been successfully used in bioengineering of steep slope, I have already told. And then we should talk also about the Vetiver Network International, TVNI, on account of versatile utilities, more particularly for its role in land stabilization. Altogether, 7 international conferences have been organized under the Vetiver Network International, TVNI. This is an international organization in different Asian countries, including India, where the 5th ICV, that is International Conference on Vetiver, was organized at Lucknow at the Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants during 28 to 30th October 2011. And I had an opportunity to attend this conference and present a paper there. And I think Dr. Yusri Lavania was there at that time, and the center, entire center, so many of scientists, they were involved with their research on this vetiver, and from all over India and even from outside. And there was a team of, I think, about 6 or 7 dozens of scientists, led by Princess Mahat Chakri Sirindhor, and the daughter of late Atulitej, the king, the Thailand king, Atulitej. So she was leading that contingent, and quite good discussion was held on different aspects of vetiver, on developing its developed varieties, cultivars, etc., etc. And I gained too much of inspiration from there, and we are trying that this harvest, this vetiver should be, vetiver plantation on a massive scale should be undertaken in our North Bihar also, which is quite flood prone. And I think a number of scientific journals are publishing papers on the role of vetiver in land stabilization, carbon sequestration, medicinal utilization, and decontamination of soil and water. And vetiver stalks, technically the peduncle of the inflorescence, are collected after the rainy season comes to an end. It is generally the woman belonging to the weaker sections of the society, that is Musahar caste, from the chores. These peduncles, which are called stalks, are collected from the chores by the women, mostly belonging to the Musahar caste. In the process, they sing the Bishahra songs, that is songs related with the snakes, as vetiver sites are supposed to provide shelter to a number of these serpents. So that's why there is a tradition by these women to sing the Bishahra songs devoted to the serpent god. The stalks thus collected are dried and sected into finer pieces. These are carved into different shapes like Mauni, Pauti, Birara, etc. I have already told it. All these items serve as containers for storing household items. A remarkable property with the Sikhi artifacts is that they are insect repellents. This is very remarkable property with the Sikhi containers. Now, for years together, for decades together, the women, they store their household items in these Sikhi gadgets, and all these items, they escape the attack of insects or other pests. So this is one of the very significant property with the sticky items, sticky artifacts, that they just avoid the attack of pests. Now the traditional Sikhi arts are reported to follow designs in artifacts recovered from ancient excavation sites. The antiquity of these art forms, based on indigenous grasses, needs to be deciphered further. There is a paper by D.S. Upadhyay that has been published in the journal Folklore, that a number of designs that are still followed in carving the Sikhi items, they have been found. These designs have been found in the artifacts, items from that have come out from the excavation sites. So there is a need that it has got some archaeological value also, and that should be just followed. Now recently, Bihar Industries Minister Shahnawaz Hussain, I have not been able to show this photograph, on the occasion of centenary celebration of the Bihar Vidhan Sabha at Patna, presented Sikhi wall hanging to our Reverend President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji. Vetiver is a fast-growing tropical grass that grows into 1 or 2 meters above ground and can produce a large, complex and massive root system penetrating deep into the soil profile. It has a huge unquantified potential of carbon storage. Under favorable conditions, its erect cones can reach even up to 3 meters in height. It develops flowers of brownish purple color. Mat-like root systems of the grass grow downwards up to 2 or 4 meters depth. Vetiver has the capacity to survive inundation even up to 2 months, and as such is held as a flood-resistant grass, more suited to the prolonged waterlogged situation in Mithila region. At the same time, it is highly drought-tolerant grass that can help protect soil against sheet erosion. The grass holds immense scope of plantation in the sanded areas in the floodplains of Kosi and other rivers of this area that are facing the problem of deposits of huge sand wall, more particularly after raising of embankments over these rivers in the post-independence dispensation. There is a traditional indigenous practice of using vetiver for stabilization of sand in Kosi floodplains, more particularly for raising huts for housing purposes. Now vetiver soil cast containing vetiver, these were planted on the Kosi embankments when these embankments were raised in the 50s. So there was a traditional wisdom that this vetiver allowed early stabilization of the sand mass. Embankments raised over almost all rivers in Bihar have created a colossal problem of heavy deposits of sand alongside the river stream. Massive vetiver plantations could ameliorate the soil fertility, leading to agricultural diversification in the otherwise infertile sand mass. Now we should talk about vetiver system also. Now vetiver system is related with developing plantation of vetiver, improved cultivars and improved forms of vetiver in areas, and this vetiver system today is used in more than 100 countries for soil and water conservation, infrastructure stabilization, pollution control, wastewater treatment, sediment control, etc. It can prove a remedy for arsenic contamination that has become more rampant after receding of flow in a river like Ganga and its tributaries in the last few decades. Now this situation has aggravated problem of arsenic contamination, which was not there during 2 to 3 decades back. That has this situation, this problem, this menace has cropped up in rural areas, mostly alongside the Ganga river. Now this is being linked with receding water flow that has allowed this arsenic that was there earlier in the deeper strata of our soil. Now this has come up and the problem of arsenic contamination is being gradually, it is being aggravated. Now, we should go into the history, some history also. Now, Kannauj city in UP is known for its business in aromatic oils, aromatic fragrance. Reports available speak of Kannauj in UP having emerged as a big center for trade of aromatic extracts in the age of King Harshvardhan. And it was at that time that vetiver tax was imposed. Uh, this is there on the Google, and I have accessed it recently. Now, vetiver oil is applied directly to the skin for relieving stress as well as for emotional traumas and shocks. It has a remarkable property for repelling insects and other pests. It is sometimes inhaled as aromatherapy for nervousness, insomnia, and joint and muscle pain. Now, sharbats are prepared from it. Now, I am reminded of the fact that when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was Prime Minister and a summit was held with Parvez Musharraf, if I am correct, and this sharbat of this vetiver was served. Khas sharbat was delivered at that time. It came in the newspapers. Now our Hamdard is famous for making sharbats of vetiver, and in the system, the Unani system also, it is highly prevalent. There was a practice of raising curtain walls of vetiver roots in the offices as well as in the houses of affluent people. During summertime, they raised the curtains made of vetiver roots. Water was sprinkled over such curtains, and this practice used to emit fragrance in those complexes. Now, this practice has given way to coolers and air conditioners, but there has been a reversal of the trend, and people are now again going for this vetiver-based coolers and air conditioners and curtains. So progressive farmers are now planting vetiver as a sequel to agricultural diversification for deriving benefits of extraction of aromatic oils from the crop. The process helps amelioration of the soil health through addition of organic biomass. They are making integrated cultivation of vetiver with other crops as well. Now, in various countries, various Asian countries, since it is a tropical grass, and our state of Kerala is also known for rich vetiver cultivation, along with a number of crops like cassava, then mushrooms, and then other crops are also strawberry. So they are making this integration of vetiver with these crops: mushroom, cashew nut, cassava, strawberry. These crops are being integrated with vetiver. Now, Central Plantation Crops Research Institute in Kerala is making intercroppings of the medicinal plants and trees in coconut gardens with vetiver as an ingredient. This vetiver also acts as a trap crop for specific pests and as a refuge for natural enemies of many different pest species. Now, this could emerge as a significant component of integrated pest management also. Now, vetiver can emerge and has emerged as a significant tool for women's emancipation. Now, through this Sikhi art, a number of destitute women who didn't have any other person to support them, now they have adopted this Sikhi cottage art and have made their livelihood conditions better with the help of this art. So this is a good sign that in women's emancipation, women's empowerment also, this has become a tool. Now, Lucknow-based CMAP, that I have already discussed, is making trials on intercropping of maize and radish with vetiver. So it is suitable for reduction of soil loss and runoff with better growth and productivity of cashew. Now, a study in tropical situation of Kerala has found vetiver, hedge rose, between a strawberry rose, effective in conserving soil and moisture, aeration of soil, and helping to recharge the groundwater. So wherever, whatever the situation and wherever the condition, people are making their own innovations in agriculture and other fields also, and they are providing a solution to their own problems by adopting this vetiver, fragrant garlands of vetiver, just like in our area, this makhana garlands are offered to deities as well as distinguished guests. Similarly, in South India, there is a tradition of making the garlands from the fragrant roots of vetiver. So just see, in our own country, there are two different types of situations. In Bihar, Odisha, in Tharwat of Champaran, the people, mostly the women, Tharu women, mostly the women, they just create artifacts, make artifacts from its stalk, that is called pedanka. But in our South India, all the artifacts are made from these fragrant roots of this vetiver. And in areas outside India, in countries, all the artifacts they are made from the leaves, from the above ground leaves. So this is the variation of the use of stalk, of the leaves, and of the roots in different parts of India and different parts of of the world. So this is the variation that we encounter keeping vetiver in question. So this is, I would like to stop here and would like to stress upon the need that we should just provide example of the vetiver worship, that is the puja of Katara. We call it Katara Jha. We have here, this is still vibrant, this is still practiced. Not that the practice is no more there, practice has become extinct. No, this is not the situation. The practice is still there, and for the 6 months during Sundays, starting from the Hindi month of this Abrahan, lasting up to Vaisakh, for 6 months, the people do not take salt on Sundays, and this is, I have already told, sequel to sun worship and related with health and wellness, and also with the practice of conservation of soil. So these are the multifaceted aspects of this wonder grass, miracle grass. It is called as miracle grass. Also sonar grass. In Odisha, it is called on account of similarity of its color of the flower with this gold. It is called as sonar grass in Odisha. So this is a multifaceted miracle grass. Vetiver needs our attention, and it should be planted on a scale. I see Patanjali Jhaji is attending this program, and one of his colleagues just a few days back gave me a ring that go and see the plantation of vetiver that has been made with the initiative of Patanjali Jhaji, and I am planning to go there and see what he is doing. And in several waterlogged areas, this vetiver can stand long floodings. So this is a very good aspect of it, very good aspect of it, and that should be taken care of. And we should adopt this plantation along with other crops. It is just paying also. Our plantation of crops, yes, provides us sustenance. But if we adopt this vetiver plantation, vetiver cultivation, it will be more rewarding, more fetching. So time has come that we go for this agricultural education, keeping vetiver in mind. So once again, I thank Dr. Pampi Ghoshji, Dr. Devrat Das ji for providing me this opportunity. Thank you once again.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, can I come in for 2 minutes? Hello? Yes, Dr. Saab, a very, very informative session, very erudite. I would just like to add to what you were saying, by virtue of perhaps we use vetiver the maximum in our no-till, no poison, multi-layer permanent wood forest anywhere in the world. We have cumulative on our own farms and on our associates' farms, not less than 7-8 crore vetiver, which we do not use for oil at all, because it is so versatile. and it fixes enormous amount of carbon, 15 kg per square meter, and the shavings of that is a very good fodder. Shavings of that is very good as a mulch. Shavings of that is an excellent source for mushroom making. So just three little points I'll make. We gifted 1.75 crore vetiver to Eco Task Force of the Indian Army at 8 different locations in Marathwada, in Gangaji. As you rightly said, they could, the tortoise and the dolphins came back in the stretch which Eco Task Force between Kanpur to Varanasi, which were handling on their, all these nalas which were belching the filth into the river, could vetiver for the water purification. And currently it is doing 3,000 tons of carbon sink. They got it gifted from an institute in Jabalpur by a professor. And going forward, it multiplies 10 times, 7 to 10 times. So in the next 2 years, it will be doing more than 1 lakh ton of carbon sequestration. Enormous. The National Geography is going to be covering them for the Ganga's effort. Marathwada, the life came back in 3 years' time. Why no oil with this? Because without this, it is. I have got it tested. It is good for aviation fuel. It is good for CBG. It is good for marine fuel. Perhaps the most pollutant fuel of them all. And this is one. And the second is, as I said, we have started gifting to some tribal population in Nichi. There is a NGO which has done water independence in that area. And simply, and there is a buyback arrangement of vetiver shavings at 6 rupee a kg of the dried ones. Trust me, good 10,000 families can come out of the poverty only on account of this. So a thing which is so versatile, which you brought out so well. Currently, we would have nothing less than together a crore of vetiver. I am a big amount of this, and we use it as one of our this thing from the year 1. And temperature comes down on the farm by 2 degrees. It's brilliant to fight the IPCC climate change report, and also it's very medicinal in terms of, because it purifies water. So body is nothing else but water. So when I was heading the department here in Mumbai, so I made everyone, to my subordinates, 7,000 of them, to have vetiver water along with the raw turmeric and the black turmeric that we grow in our no-tip condition. Nobody died, even those who got the COVID, unlike the rest of the country. So these are very simple things. If it purifies water, your body is nothing else but water. So might as well drink a vetiver water rather than, spoil the soil and take the oil out. Other than that, amazing source of information that you narrated. You are most welcome to come and visit and see our farm, how we use vetiver as one layer of no-till. It's a must. You surround any plant with vetiver, that grows 5 times faster because it holds the topsoil, it holds the moisture. I follow Poka. It brings the micronutrient from the lower depths. So it's amazing for climate resilience. It's amazing for circular economy, brilliant for CBG, brilliant for livelihood. Thank you so much. Great to listen to you.
Thank you.
For the discussion. And one question from you, sir, that how can we produce vetiver water? As you
How can we?
how can we produce vetiver water?
Vetiver water is just the through after cleaning, especially.
I think by dipping the roots, fragrant roots in
Yeah,
water.
boil that in water. Yeah, boil that in water and again re-sun it. You can reuse it, and it's a
Then root portion
root portion.
should be used. Okay.
Root,
Okay.
Portion
this is fragrant
into
roots.
Okay. Sir.
for your system. We all are. Most people are using that water through RO, which is cancerous. So which destroys the minerals. So this vetiver water brings the minerals back and turns your body alkaline. Perfect way to stay healthy. One of the best ways. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your information. Thank you all the audience, all the scholars, and all the knowledgeable persons who are present here. And one question from one I know who is there. What is the difference between lemongrass and vetiver grass?
I think both of them belong to the same family. Both of them
But
they have
different
fragrance. Fragrance on account of there is difference on account of the production of the secondary metabolites, on account of their genetic composition, but
Yes.
they are allied. They are allied.
But there is different genus.
Ah,
Lemongrass
yes.
and vetiver.
They are allied genera. They are allied genera. They are allied genera.
Okay, sir. Then any other question from any audience? Or want to know more from the research person and other persons who know more about vetiver? Any question from audience? Feel free to ask. No question. Then no question, so thanks to all again. Then I would like to request Dr. Das for announcing next day's program. Dr. Das.
Yes, Mira. Thank you, Vidyanabh Jha, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all the participants present here. Actually, we have one international conference on 25th, 26th, and 27th this month, 2021. So we'll be busy in the conference, and the time of the conference is 7 to 9:30. It will be, I think, 10 only. Then for these days, we have to arrange presenter session, that is technical session, and even foreign resource persons will come to our conference. So 27th is Saturday. So 27th we have no normal webinar. So this is the last day of our international conference, that is Environment and Sustainable Development, Problem, Prospects and Mitigation. Therefore, we are going to arrange another webinar of normal series, that is Biodiversity Series 2 number 9 on 4th December 2021. So 4th December 2021, our Biodiversity Series 2 number 9. Resource person is Dr. Ravindra Sirsagar, sir is Associate Professor and Research Coordinator of Zoology Department, and sir's topic is Diversity and Dynamics of Planarian Regeneration. Sir from Modern College, Pune, Maharashtra. So, dear participants, please register for the webinar Biodiversity Series 2 number 9. We will provide the link in the group, at the WhatsApp and Telegram group. Similarly, we will complete 10 lectures under 2 series. So, at the end of the webinar series, we will provide the feedback link. This is the final feedback link, and through this final feedback link, we will provide the certificate of series. That is, for Biodiversity series, we will provide one certificate, and for Environment and Development series, we will provide another certificate. So after completion of this, that is series 2 of Environment and Development and Biodiversity, we will provide the certificate. So do not ask regarding the certificate, but we have to submit the feedback for each and every webinar. In the month of December, we are going to arrange another national conference on biodiversity building and natural resource management. So in this conference, we are going to arrange some that is resource person talk as well as presenter talk. So participants, please register yourself and send your valuable article. It may be research article or review article, or it may be short notes, or anyhow that is global review for publication in the UGC Care List journal. It may be Care List 1 or 2 depending upon the nature of the journal. Even in the chapter form to be published in ISBN book. Thank you again.
Thank you, Doctor, for the announcement. Now I would like to request Nivedita Madam for take charge of the valedictory session. Madam.
Yes, thank you, madam.
Okay, madam.
I am here to propose vote of thanks for this today's lecture given by Dr. Vidyanath Jha, who gave the lecture on vetiver, a multifaceted grass providing a message of land conservation and rural development. Sir has very nicely explained, first of all, the names of vetiver in the form of its common name as the miracle grass or the wonder grass or sonar grass in different languages. Also, the Katrajhar in Mithila region of Bihar and its botanical name, which is changed now from Vetiveria zizanoides to Chrysopogon zizanoides. He also has explained us in very well arranged slide manner the different uses of vetiver and different varieties, cultivars of vetiver as lowland species, upland species, then different cultivars as they are 11 different cultivars, and mainly in very nice words he has explained the different uses of vetiver, like it is used as biofuel, then main use in ecological reclamations of soil as well as water. Then he has nicely explained its capacity to boost agriculture with integrated farming along with different crops like acorus, potato, mint, then in Kerala like strawberry and roses like that. He has also explained us that the cultivars of this vetiver or khas, they are used for land conservation, water management, carbon sequestration, and to reclaim soil and water pollution. Rather, it was for me especially, it was very much surprising thing that other than normal uses of vetiver, that is, it is used normally as for making curtains, caps, or used to extract fragrant oil or sherbets, or you can say sherbets. So other than these normal or routine uses, it was surprisingly explained by him that vetiver is really a miracle grass or wonder grass which is helpful in organic farming also. So I would like to pay vote of thanks sincere vote of thanks to Dr. Vidyanath Jha for giving us and enlightening us, giving us good knowledge about vetiver. Thanks a lot, sir, for your lecture. Wonderful lecture, I will say. Then I would like to thank Dr. Patanjali Jha also for adding more information about vetiver in the form of giving us uses of its different shavings, then mulchings, and also ways to clean water which is potable. So thank you, Dr. Patanjali Jha, for adding the information to our knowledge. Then I would like to thank Dr. Devavrat Das for giving us the details about next webinar and next conferences which are to be held in the month of November as well as December. Thank you, Dr. Das, sir. I will thank Dr. Pampi Ghosh and Dr. Jana also for arranging these this wonderful lecture by Dr. Vidyanath Jha, and I would like to thank, which is last but not least, all the participants, all the listeners. I would like to thank for attending sincerely and taking lot of interest in Dr. Jha's lecture. So at the end, I would like to thank once again to all, and especially Dr. Vidyanath Jha for giving wonderful information about vetiver. Thank you all. Thank you once again. I would like to hand over now mic to Dr. Pampi Ghosh.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for taking charge of this valedictory session in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you, madam. And thank to Dr. Jha and all other participants for showing your interest for this webinar and listening from starting to last. And so officially we are at the end of this webinar. So good night to all, and this is the end of today's webinar. So wait for next few days, and we'll meet again on 25th for our international conference. So thanks to all and good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jha sir,
Thank you, Jha sir, and good night.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Good night.
sir.
I'm Bikram Yadav from Nepal, Janakpur Dham, Nepal.
Good night. Okay, sir. Then any questions, sir? Have you any questions, sir? Bikram, sir? If any have any questions, please, then we cannot have.
Again, meeting, I join and discussion.
You hear all the total lecture and the discussion session, sir? Bikram, sir? So I think good night, and we are ending this session.